is up, you guys? This is MiniSuperHeroes Today.
This video will contain massive spoilers for Jurassic World Dominion, so if you're avoiding spoilers, be sure to see the movie and come back to this video after. With that being said, let's get into it. Man, I really love Jurassic World Dominion, guys. I know the critics are giving it bad ratings, but I actually really liked it, and if you're clicking on this video, I'm gonna guess that you liked it too. So here we have all of the Jurassic World Dominion figures, some of them with upgrades. In fact, most of them have some little changes to make them more movie accurate, but you'll notice there are a few figures here that aren't quite the way they come in the sets. And that's because these sets are really overpriced. If you were going to buy every set in the theme, it's over $400 before tax and before shipping. So we're going to get a little creative today. So these are the essential sets that you're going to need to pick up. You need the big $130 set because that's how you get Alan Grant, and it also gets you most of the other big main characters, plus the two big main dinosaurs. It's a really good set, especially once you've seen the movie. I feel like it's one of the better LEGO movie play sets in years. Then we're also going to need this $30 set, which has Rain Delacourt and Maise in it, because of course we need both of those two figures. And then we also need this $40 set because that's where you get Ian Malcolm from. So I feel like the figures that come in these three sets are absolutely essential, but it does leave us with a few missing main characters, so let me explain. You can see that this version of Rain Delacourt is missing, and that's because for some reason he got two minifigs. I'm just never gonna understand how he got two minifigs, yet we're still waiting on, like, Stealth Suit Captain America or Ronan from Marvel. It's just crazy. Anyways, so we're missing him. We're also missing Claire and Franklin in their black suits because we're skipping out on that $40 set. Now, I'm going to show you how to build Franklin using existing pieces that gets pretty similar and is going to save you the $40 on having to buy that set. Then, of course, we're also missing two versions of Owen, kind of with the flannel shirts on here, and again, it's just to save us money. These scenes were cool, but it's going to be a lot more money to get both of these figures, so we're going to keep things simple and just give you one look for Owen. Soyona is also missing because she comes in an $80 set. It's a cool set, but $80 is a lot of money these days, so we're going to build her as a purist custom, and we have Zia, and the reason that I'm skipping out on the set that she comes in with Soyona and all that is because I honestly just think that she's barely in the movie, so, you know, why spend all that money for a figure that's barely in the movie? Let's just build her as a purist custom. So let's get into the video, and I'll show you how to build everybody that you see right here. So ironically, we're starting off with a figure that is not from the official line of sets, and this is my custom of Franklin. He's not in the movie too much, but we do see him and Claire and Zia trying to help those Triceratops get back to freedom, so that's what we're looking at here. I used these legs from a LEGO Star Wars Imperial Gunner, this torso from a LEGO Star Wars Imperial. The head, hair, and hands are from Franklin from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which it's a catch-22. Like, if you have that figure already, this is easier to do. If you don't have that figure, you might as well just go buy the set. I just want to give you guys lots of options and try to save you as much money as possible with this showcase. Since Franklin doesn't have glasses on, you could also use Dean Thomas from Harry Potter if you wanted that look too. Next up is Zia, and kind of like Franklin, we're not actually getting the figure from the line of sets, we're building it as a custom, and it's sometimes annoying when LEGO uses the same faces on all these different characters, but in this case, it actually works in our favor because it helps us build the figure without having to buy the set. So we've got black hair here, and the head from Monica from LEGO Friends, although that head's been used in an awful lot of places over the years. We put tan hands on this torso from the Keytar player from the LEGO Collectible Minifigure series and put some black legs on there to bring it all together. Up next is Maise, and I think that the beanie look is okay. I really think that because she doesn't wear the beanie a ton in the movie, using regular hair is fine, but we're just going to keep this as simple as possible and use the beanie, head, and torso from the actual Maise figure, and I gave her dark blue mid-sized legs because, you know, when you see her next to, like, Owen in the movie, Owen is significantly taller than her, and even though the beanie can maybe play a little mind games on you, I do think it makes sense to give her the mid-sized legs, so that's what I used here. Speaking of Owen, he's up next, and he's just straight the way he comes from the sets. Now, with that being said, this Owen has come in several Jurassic World themed sets over the years, and even if you don't have those, if you just put some dark blue legs here, you could use the torso from Iron Man and the head and hair from Star-Lord to get this same look. So this is probably the easiest figure in the showcase to build. Here we have Rain Delacourt, and like I said, we only have one version of this figure for this showcase because we're on the money-saving trip. Then you could flip the head around and see he's got a big grin. It's almost a shame he's got that dinosaur tattoo because this head would be so good for other customs if it weren't for that super unique identifying mark on this figure. Oh well. Claire Deering is up next, and I actually think that she's the perfect minifigure, so it's hard to upgrade. If I would upgrade anything, I think I'd try to give her a haircut that actually gave her, like, some bangs over her forehead, but there really isn't a Lego piece that exists in this color quite like that, so for now, I think that this is pretty darn perfect. Here we have Ellie Sattler, pretty much a perfect minifigure right out of the gate, but I did switch out her legs for sand green legs because they are just a little bit more accurate to the movie. Not a total deal breaker, though. Similarly, Alan Grant is pretty much perfect as well. The only change I made here is I gave him Cassian Andor's legs from Star Wars. That way you still get those gray pants, but you get a little belt on there too that really brings the whole look together if you ask me. It kills me when LEGO won't just add like a tiny little detail like this to make a figure in a $130 set that much better. But that's what customs are for, so that's what we're doing today. Here we have Ramsay, and as I was watching the movie, I immediately thought, man, the head from Falcon is going to be perfect for this figure. So that's where the head comes from. He's got the new Black Panther hair. It's come on a couple figures at this point, but that's where it debuted, at least in my collection, so that's what I always jump to. I gave him hands to match, the torso from Fred Weasley, or actually I think it's George Weasley. I spoke too fast. And he's got gray legs to bring all of it together. Up next is Dodgston. I hope I'm saying his name right, but let's focus on the figure and not me totally butchering his name. Fittingly, I think that the head from Dennis Nedry actually works pretty well, and of course he's a Jurassic Park character, and because he dies with, getting the dinosaur splat on him, it makes total sense to use that head. He's got some swept-back white hair with the torso and legs from Bruce Banner from LEGO Marvel. Here we have Ian Malcolm, pretty much a perfect figure if you ask me. The only thing I wish that I could upgrade is I wish that we could give him short sleeves, but because of that unique tanned look they went for Jeff Goldblum, unfortunately there isn't an arm that has black sleeves and that shade of skin underneath, so we're just going to have to leave it as is, but I sure wish we didn't have to. The Henry Wu figure is probably the strangest figure in this entire wave because look at the head that the official one came with. Short hair and a beard, which is literally the opposite of what we saw in the movie where he had a long hair and no beard. So strange. Anyways, I used the torso and legs from the official Henry Wu figure from that $130 set. Then I used the original Henry Wu head from the first Jurassic World wave of sets with some long black hair to bring it together. Soyona, I hope I'm getting her name right, is another character that came in an expensive set that we're skipping for this showcase. So to build her with slightly more common pieces, I used Ellie Sattler's hair, although it's come in a lot of places, but if you get the 3 sets I recommended getting in this video, you'll actually have 2 Ellie Sattlers, and coincidentally, this head is used on one of the Jurassic, Biosyn soldiers, so you actually get both of those from these sets. You'll need some tan arms. I put those on the original, well, not the original, but a torso from another Claire Deering, not from this movie, and some black legs to get us close to the official figure without having to drop the money on the actual one. Here we have Barry, and it was pretty cool to see him in this movie again. For some reason, I thought that he got eaten in the first Jurassic World movie, so I was definitely surprised to see him again. But this is just the regular Barry figure from the first Jurassic World movie because, well, it looks exactly like him, so why change anything? And finally, we have Kayla Watts. Now, the hair that they gave the actual figure, I think, was atrocious. And we're going to give her this hair from Mirabelle from Encanto. I believe that's a character's name. Because I think that the curly look is good. Although she does have some blonde streaks in her hair, I would much rather have the curly hair look than whatever the atrocity was that they gave her on the official figure. So, yeah, I think that that's going to bring us to a close here. So let's zoom out and I'll give you my final thoughts. Well, thanks for hanging out, guys. Be sure to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Well, you made it to the end of the video. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and maybe check out one of my other videos listed here.